At 8 years old, Sidney Walker woke up in the dark and walked 3.5 miles to shine shoes so his grandmother could eat. At 19, he was fighting for world titles at Madison Square Garden. At 40, he was shining shoes again. This is the story of Beau Jack, the boxer who rose from absolute nothing to become one of the greatest lightweights of all time, then lost everything, then found the strength to stand back up anyway. Sidney Walker was born on April 1st, 1921 in Waynesboro, Georgia, during an era when being black in the American South meant living under the boot heel of Jim Crow. According to genealogical records, his mother died when he was an infant. His father abandoned him. At 8 years old, according to documented accounts, young Sidney began walking 3.5 miles every morning before dawn to reach Augusta, where he shined shoes at the corner of 9th and Broad Streets. He did this to help feed his grandmother, Evie Mixom, who had taken him in and given him everything she had, which was almost nothing. One day, according to his own testimony, 3 white boys robbed him of the $3 he'd earned. He came home crying. His grandmother didn't comfort him. According to documented accounts, she did something far more important. She told him, "You better fight till the blood runs out your shoes. No Walker's supposed to be running nowhere." A week later, when boys tried to take his money again, Sidney fought back. He beat them. When he told his grandmother what he'd done, she considered him reborn. She renamed him Beau Jack. After that moment, according to historical records, Beau Jack learned he had a gift. By age 15, he was fighting in battle royals, brutal spectacles where 5 to 10 black boys, often blindfolded, fought each other while white men watched and threw coins. According to documented accounts, Beau Jack won repeatedly despite weighing only 133 pounds and standing just 5 feet 6 inches tall. He was small, he was black, he was fighting in the segregated South, but he was relentless. In 1940, according to professional boxing records, 20-year-old Beau Jack turned professional in Massachusetts. He immediately dominated. According to his record, he won 27 fights in his first year, losing only 3, and became an instant fan favorite because of his swarming, non-stop punching style. 2 years later, on December 18, 1942, according to official boxing records, he stepped into Madison Square Garden to fight Tippy Larkin for the New York State Athletic Commission version of the World Lightweight title. Beau Jack knocked him out in the 3rd round. He was champion of the world. He would go on to hold that title twice. According to Madison Square Garden records, between 1941 and 1949, Beau Jack appeared there 27 times and headlined the main event a record 21 times, a record that still stands. He fought the greatest lightweights of his era, Henry Armstrong, Fritzy Zivik, Bob Montgomery, Sammy Angat, and Johnny Bratton. During World War II, according to official boxing documentation, his fights were so popular that one bout required a $100,000 war bond for ringside seating. He was the draw, he was the champion, he was the man. Then it ended. By 1944, after losing his title for good on March 3rd in a split decision to Bob Montgomery, Beau Jack spent the next 11 years fighting for diminishing purses. According to his official record, he retired with 83 professional wins, 40 by knockout, 24 losses, and 5 draws. A truly legendary career. But when he hung up his gloves in 1955, according to historical documentation, his money was gone, mysteriously depleted. The money his managers had supposedly set aside for him had vanished. So Beau Jack returned to what he knew. According to documented accounts, he opened a drive-in restaurant in Georgia. It failed. He worked a farm. It failed. He refereed wrestling matches in South Carolina. Then, according to his own statements preserved in historical records, he made a choice. He moved to Miami, Florida, and in 1957, the former world champion began shining shoes at the Fontainebleau Hotel on Miami Beach. The same work he'd done as a child, the same work that had launched his entire career. But here's what makes this story immortal. According to his own testimony, Beau Jack never complained. He said, "I've been to the top of the mountain. I was champion of the world. I've worked hard all my life, and I'm happy doing what I'm doing." In 1980, according to historical records, he became the head trainer at the legendary 5th Street Gym, mentoring the next generation of fighters. In 1986, he was inducted into the World Boxing Hall of Fame. In 1991, he was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame. Beau Jack died on February 9, 2000, from complications of Parkinson's disease, a condition many prize fighters develop from years of repeated blows to the head. He was 78 years old, but his legacy wasn't defined by the poverty that bookended his life. It was defined by the relentless refusal to stay down, by the champion who, when he fell from the mountain, climbed back up in the only way he knew how, with his hands, with his work, and with unbreakable dignity. Comment below, what moves you most about Beau Jack's story? The rise or the resilience? Share this with someone who needs to know that champions are built from struggle, not born into comfort. Subscribe to Ikamafuna History TV because these are the stories of Black excellence that America tries to forget. The fighters, the workers, the legends who refuse to quit.